Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to your Rangers Review News Bulletin this Monday, the 7th of April, off the back of another disappointing weekend for Rangers in the domestic front, losing 2-0 to Hibs. Lots of fallout from that on the briefing this morning. Chris joined me and we discussed what changes Barry Ferguson could make ahead of Athletic Club Bilbao coming to Ibrox on Thursday. You can go and check that out if you haven't watched it already, folks. But I think he's got some big decisions to make on a number of positions, namely at the goalkeeper department. Should Liam Kelly get recalled and take his place between the sticks? It certainly was a main topic of discussion on the show this morning. What would you like to see? Does Jack Butland retain his place despite his more than wobbly form of late, or does Kelly get the shout? Yeah, it's a big call, and the manager faces that ahead of Thursday. Other than that, staying with the Athletic Club Bilbao and their boss, the Spanish coach Ernesto Valverde, has provided an update on several of his injured players ahead of that Europa League quarter-final. Now, concerns have been raised over a number of their key personnel, especially top goal scorer Oihan Sanchez. The midfielder has scored 14 goals in all competitions this season. He last played he played the last half hour as Athletic Club drew 0-0 with Villarreal yesterday. It remains to be seen if he'll feature at Ibrox. Valverde said, "We'll see if he plays in Glasgow or not." He has to get into it little by little. If not in Scotland, it will be against Rayo. Plays Rayo Vallecano, but he should get into it now. Left back Yuri Bersheshi, probably butchered that lad's name. He came off injured 35 minutes into that game yesterday. He says it's a small problem in the calf. Let's see if it's not enough. And Nico Williams, who starred for Spain, of course, in their Euros triumph last summer, should be able to play on Thursday. He said Nico Williams is fine, but you look at things, some people rest more during certain periods, like the international break, but he didn't, and we have to take that into account with so many games. Aitor Paredes, we think is just an overload and a cramp. We hope Ruiz da Galarreta and Yerai can come to Glasgow, but we don't know yet. I've given them tomorrow off because I have a trip in between. The important thing now is to recover above all else. So that is Valverde with an update on his players ahead of heading over to Glasgow for that game. Huge match on Thursday, isn't it? It really is. Rangers just have to stay in the tie. Rangers missing key personnel themselves. John Souttar and Mohamed Diamandi suspended, as I touched on at the top of the show as well. Do you play Jack Butland or not, given his current form? I think if Rangers can... The best I think we can hope for is just staying in the tie. You don't want Athletic Bilbao to run away with it in leg one. Now, the home form concerns me. I've got to say they're losing the last 5 games. Is not ideal preparation heading into this one. But Rangers in Europe, they're a different animal, aren't they? And I just hope that every single player that pulls on that blue jersey on Thursday, including the goalkeeper, whatever coloured jersey he wears, plays out their skin because they're going to have to raise their levels. From what we've seen so far this season, I think, if Rangers are to get past Bilbao and make it to the semi-finals of this competition. Staying with that game on Thursday night, the Union Bears say that there will be a Copeland Stairs street party ahead of that game. They shared a video on social media urging supporters to bring the noise and colour ahead of the fixture. And it looks like they'll be leading a street party ahead of the match with a 6:30 p.m. Start time confirmed in their social media post. So, they always bring the colour on these European evenings, and imagine Thursday will be no different. They previously led a march, of course, ahead of the Fenerbahce game last month, and looks like a similar sort of event will be taking place on Thursday evening. Right, let's move on to other bits of news elsewhere you may have seen. This is an interesting one. Yeah, it has been a player that has been linked with Rangers in the past, although I'm not too sure how much has been in that before. But Dele Alli, who you can see there on your screen, he was recommended to Rangers a few years ago. That's according to former Rangers defender Graham Roberts. He says he now plays for Como over in Serie A, playing under Cesc Fabregas, of course, after spells with unhappy spells, you could say, with Everton and Besiktas. But it was at Spurs, of course, where he initially made his name. Speaking to Express Sports, Graham Roberts said, "I liked him when he joined Tottenham. I thought he was brilliant when he played for us. I remember him scoring 2 goals against Chelsea, 2 brilliant goals when we won 3-1. I've always liked him. I don't know what went wrong. I tried to recommend him to Rangers a few years ago and said, if you get hold of him and you help him, there is a player there. There is a player there, but he needs someone to put an arm around him to really get him back to what he was as a kid. He is barely at his peak yet. It's frightening." He was sent off on his Como debut. Dele Alli, they were playing against Milan a few weeks ago at the San Siro. Only 28. I thought he was a bit older than that, Dele Alli, but it just shows you that the real drop-off in him. He was one of the hottest young prospects in England at the time, of course, starring for England as well. And of course, I think he's had his demons, Dele Alli. Whether he can try and recapture the form that saw him make a name for himself at Spurs, I have my doubts. But he has been a name that has been linked to Rangers in the past. And interesting there that Graham Roberts recommended him to Rangers, but it's clear that they felt that he wasn't a player worthy of signing. Let us know in the comments, though, folks. I'm intrigued to find out what you think of that. I've not been keeping tabs on how he has been performing for Como of late, or whether he's been playing, but Dele Alli, a story of a pretty sad story, really, of his demise in the game. Not so sad, though, is Scott Arfield. Love this post on Instagram from Stephen Davis over the weekend as Scott Arfield joined the 100 club. He netted his 100th career goal in football, netted a double, incidentally, for Falkirk as they thrashed Morton by 5-0 at the weekend, and they look like they're going to be returning to the Scottish Premiership after a long time. They've been out of the division. I know that Peter Houston came close to getting Falkirk up, but that was a time when Rangers, Hibs and Hearts were in the division, so they were up against it. But they seem to have got their act together. They are 8 points ahead of second place Livingston. And Scott Arfield could be playing in the Premiership next season. But I love this post from Stephen Davis. 100 club at Scotty Arf. Not a member myself, but proud of you, son. And the two Rangers legends enjoying what looks like a lovely glass of white in the sunshine. So well done, Scotty. Fantastic achievement in that. No mean feat, netting at 100 career goals. And I'm sure he'll net a good few more as well. It would be good to see him next season in the Premiership as well for Falkirk, his boyhood club. And I think they'll be a welcome addition. We've not had a team like that have not been in the Premiership for quite some time. So good to see Scotty and Falkirk doing well. And I'm sure they'll go on and finish the job. Right, folks, that'll do us there. Just a heads up of what is to come. Those of you that are extra members on YouTube, I'm recording our weekly Q&A show this afternoon, so keep your eyes peeled for that. If you want to join the extra channel, incidentally, just £2.99 a month, you get that extra content every week. So the Q&A show, you get the press conference reaction show as well as you can watch the morning briefing ad-free. So it's just £2.99 a month. Click the join button on the Rangers Review YouTube homepage. It has to be a desktop version. Click on that, and it's easy to join from there. Tomorrow morning, I'm joined by Johnny on the morning briefing, 9:30. So see you all then. And I'll also be speaking, as I mentioned in the briefing earlier, to Rory Barlow, who's a Scottish lad covering Spanish football. Lucky sod, living out there in Spain, but he's going to give us a lowdown on Bilbao and what we can expect. That'll be with you tomorrow afternoon at some point. Right, enjoy your Monday, whatever you're doing, folks, and we'll speak to you later. Bye for now.